wanna talk that talk in reality. You have not seen me in action. You think the come up comes overnight. You ain't behind the scenes, trust me, these things don't just happen. No shade to Gerald, but G's don't come easy when you tryna eat out producing and rapping. I read that contract you sent me to sign, but excuse me, I can't help myself, I'm just laughing. Hey, you tryna cut out a piece of my pie, and I asked you politely, what's it that you offer me? Yeah, I produce all my own beats and I have no intention of losing my publisher. Yeah, independent individual, boy, I've been eating off passive residuals. Yeah, let's be professional. Thanks for your time, but I had to decline at that principle. I've been scheming up a plan, hey. I've been saving all I can, hey. You could call me David Ramsey, the way I handle these bands, hey.
Did you? My friends always say, like, when I did sprinting, when I did cross-country stuff, my friends always said I was way too polite. Because whenever I would run past people, I would be like, excuse me.
Really?
Yeah.
You're overthinking it.
Hi. Oh, see, you know now. You know now. Dog I have. It's you. Although I've got one favourite one at the moment. It takes about probably a couple of minutes, like 5 minutes max before your workout. The whole point is that if you open the hips up, you can engage the glutes, because if your hips aren't open enough for you to be able to achieve full extension, the glutes don't fire. So it's kind of like your workout's very inefficient if you're not warming up correctly and getting the right muscle engagement.
Yeah,
so,
makes sense.
all right, so we're just going to come down.
We do it?
Yeah. All right. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Hip, knee, second toe. So this is a really good, like when you're doing mobility, a dynamic warm-up is really important because it allows you to see if there's any imbalances going on, any structural stuff going on, primes your nervous system, allows you to engage the right muscles, prepares the way of movement. You're going to turn that foot. Now just be careful with your back foot. What we're going to do here is I'm just going to sink down. So all this does, you get a beautiful glute stretch at the top, and then you'll get like your QL and everything underneath and through the lower portion of the back. 3 to 5 seconds in every position, and I'm going to pivot through the center. We're going to come into Cossack squat. So my cues for this one are basically more about actually trying to get this heel on the ground, because people don't understand that they need calf and ankle mobility to be able to squat properly. So that is essentially a single leg squat, and then we come into a hip flexor. So this one here, we don't want to arch the back. The more you can squeeze the back glute and reach up and out of the hips, the more you're going to open through the front of the hips as well. It just gives you a beautiful stretch, because this area, like stretching through the glutes, is actually really hard to do. And I also find that, like, we talk about engaging the glutes a lot, but if they're too tight, you also run the risk of the lower back kicking in all the time. So a lot of people who've got really tight glutes are getting a lot of lower back pain as well. So it kind of, there's that fine line.
100%.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be something that happens.
Oh, it's inevitable. With the more booty building, people take the other side of things a lot more for granted, yeah. From here, you might be able to do the next one though.
Yep.
So I would do like probably 6 to 10 of those and just flow through it, holding everything to 3 to 5. And then the next one is like more of a squat warm up. But again, opening up through the thoracic. Because again, if your upper back is too tight and your hips are too tight, it just goes into your lower back. So I would come down, so here you go with this, elbows on the inside, and then from here you want to stay nice and low. You're going to open up, the other way. And then this is the favourite part of the stretch, arms up. Full neural stretch, so you want to tuck the head all the way underneath. And then again, it also helps release your lower back from when you come back into your squat. So I'd probably do like 5 or so of these as well. It's fun because people don't have the thoracic rotational ability as well.
Like that. So simple.
It's so simple. And both of those take, what, like literally 5 or 6 minutes. You are?
Well, also at like boot on. That's good that you do that, but
Those ones? 5 minutes. Yeah.
happy thrust.
Hip thrust.
Hip thrust.
Always wanted to learn how to do these.
Every guy should know.
So it should be natural then.
Yeah. Just saying.
Then it's like, oh, I've done these before.
Yeah, there are. This is also a functional exercise.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so talk me through this. So I just hop in here and put.
Yeah, you're just going to step in, feet up on the blades. You're going to put the shoulders
This
back.
is really interesting.
We can play around with the distance that you are forward and back, but if you want to have a...
So I'm always, if ever I haven't got my hands anywhere, they're usually
Yeah.
making sure that my ribs, because if I lose my ribs,
Yeah.
it just goes straight into my lower back.
Yeah.
And I think most people
Yeah.
end up that same thing as like either here or it's like cueing people not to.
Yeah.
So I'm always like tuck your chin.
Let's talk through. So the mistakes that we see a fair bit. So if we want to do the, if you can do it, the pushing through, like pushing too far through, and
Oh, the hyperextension.
hyperextension, kind
Yeah.
of.
This is so fucking.
Kind of, but yeah, just going up and pushing way too far, and then it's just going to be hamstrings and back working.
Okay,
that one.
from here,
Yeah. Yeah, see how hard, like the hamstrings?
hamstrings are
Sort
on.
of,
So if I
right?
put more weight in my toes here,
Yeah,
it's hamstrings.
hamstrings. And then if you go to heels,
Heels, it's more glutes.
yeah. If we keep the ribs down, more glutes.
Yeah. So you're almost, it's almost, but not quite, like a slight posterior, like a tilt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to spend more time at the top of the movement.
And bottom.
Bottom.
Yeah, not a lot of people feel that much out of the bottom. Do you find?
No. I mean, I can feel them here,
Yeah,
but primarily because they've just
just been on.
been on.
So that top section
That's
is definitely
where all
most.
the work happens, 100%.
What do you think? Should we add a bar as well? Just to see, I've got a fat bar.
Fat bar. Oh, good. Jesus Christ. All right, this really is 50 Shades.
About breathing, when you breathe.
Usually at
Breathe.
there.
Nice. Oh, out and in at the top. Or in all the way down.
In there.
Cool. Up. In the bottom. Top. See the control. Really thinking about what you're doing, not just pushing that bar up. See the control of the glutes all the way through, especially at the top. That pause is awesome. The core is saying on.
Core is saying, fuck off, we've had enough.
I've forgotten to
And that's
keep
10.
counting. That's 7. That'll do. I'll
And
let that.
PTs never count. We don't learn how to count.
Never will.
No. But yeah, that's awesome. You can really feel the tension
Yeah.
through here.
So you can change a little bit of the angle of this bad boy.
Yeah, right.
Which is probably the best feature, and I can go back and forth.
What would you change it for?
Probably when you're flatter, you'd actually get a little bit more of the glutes.
Yeah, right. So why on an angle? Oh, further this way? Okay. This is like a leg press now.
Yeah, a little bit. Like you can actually, it feels a fair bit different. You can still concentrate on glutes. So it's a bit harder for you to sort of push through that range.
Yeah. Your quads want to kick in?
Yeah. Yeah, just concentrate on the quads for a bit. Stay forward. It's just different.
You do feel it though.
Yeah.
It actually, because there's more support on
I
the
like
upper
it
back.
up there when it's single leg. I'll let you out of it. So then obviously the issues with the stability,
Yeah.
we're going to try and press up. Do you have a cue to actually touch the actual glutes?
I'm very hands-on. It almost borders on awkward. The glutes are really tactile. They respond very, very well to being touched. Same as the calves, same as the hamstrings. Like, I find the back of the body tends to be very, very responsive to tactile cues. So yeah, if I'm not in there, I'm like,
Because chest, you sort of
cheers, you do. Cheers,
can't
you
sort
do.
of go, oh yeah, but someone in the back, yeah.
100%, because you're used to engaging all of these all the time. So someone putting an emphasis on somewhere else, you're like, okay, now I understand it. Yes.
It's kind of got to be pretty tight in there, but we can move that back and forth. as well.
How is this? Because this, I mean, it looks very similar to a glute ham, but obviously this is here. So how is this different or more beneficial as opposed to a glute ham?
So this is actually going to assist us.
Okay.
So all the weight that I've got in there, which is heaps,
So maybe you won't go down?
should hopefully make it fairly easy.
Yeah, right.
And what I find with making it like assisted is that like you can really concentrate again on using the right muscles.
Isolating it.
Because you don't have that fear factor of like, oh my god, I'm going to face plant, where you're like, I'm just going to use anything because I'm scared.
How good is that first moment when you're on the glute ham and you get down there and you're like, stuck? Yeah.
I think the sit-up is crazy.
I've never done them. I did them once for a photo shoot and my lower back was sore for days.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never doing this again.
Okay, so there's heaps of different ways you can use it, but the first one is to actually stay really square through here. And you're gonna, I like to
Pull up.
work up against that. There's a fair bit of weight on there. Just go to where you feel comfortable.
Head plant, face plant.
Yep. Control. All the way up. Even where you're actually putting weight through your feet into the
Are you
plate.
pushing in with your heels or your whole foot?
I'm actually trying to push my whole foot
Yeah, cool.
in to try and stay square. If you don't do that and you pull up against the pad, then you'll get even more hamstring. But I feel like then your back
Bring it
will
lower.
want to not stay involved.
It's
So-
interesting because when we teach lifting, we teach about the whole foot. So
Whole
it's
foot.
like grip with the whole foot. Like
Yeah.
when you first taught deadlifting, I know when I first came out of PT school, it was like all about shifting the weight back and you teach people almost to lift their toes up
Yeah.
because you get the weight shift. But now we know that if you don't grip with the whole foot, you can't get the entire posterior kinetic chain. So yeah, it's interesting that you do that. Do you turn your feet out slightly or do you?
You can mix it up. Like it'll just hit slightly different areas, but yeah, again, like what you said, for definitely for athletes, I try and have the feet planted
Planted.
wherever possible. If it's a bodybuilder,
Yeah.
they might care about aesthetics more. They might go for
And would you do say for example, I train some dancers as well who are always externally rotated, so I do a lot of stuff in internal rotation just to counteract that, but you could essentially like train all the different muscles in your hamstrings, right, by just changing your foot position. Yeah. He just wants me to fall off.
Hang on. Okay.
Okay.
So then you can slide your knees forward. Just move the knee. You can move that up and down. Definitely a money shot.
How's this? I always have like golem hands.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Stay tall. Further. I want you to try and think flex, flex, flex. That makes sense? Then through. When you transition from going down, going up,
Yeah.
hamstrings, glutes.
Back.
Or you'll try with a bit less weight.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you've got to push it down. There you go. Tall. Bit further. And control. Nice. Gonna do one more, just like that. One more.
Fucking hell. Oh, mother of God.
How's that?
Yeah.
Do you want to try the bent leg?
Yeah.
Or bent hip? Oh, that's the ab check. Always have your core on. Always. All day.
Wow. Yeah, you really feel that, hey? I know the puppies are getting in the way.
See if you, yeah.
Where do they need to be? Over
Well, if you go like a bent hip, you
Do you
can
think
go
that
up.
has like
You can
a bit of
go
a shelf?